It's Nolan. What's going on, beautiful people? It's the kid J Nolan here. Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Industry, your number one source for music and entertainment breakdowns and commentary. Today, we're going to be getting into quite a few things. This first video that I'm putting up for y'all, this is going to be talking about all of the beef that's been going on during the solar eclipse. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all went outside with them glasses on, watching the sun and all that shit. Hey, man, that's on you. I was in the crib. I was in here talking to y'all, going live when the eclipse was going crazy. You feel me? So, yeah. But apparently, the eclipse was eclipsed by a lot of beef in hip-hop. All right? Now, before we get into all of this talk, I want to make sure that I get my shout-outs out there. So, number one, I want to give a shout-out to Miss Danisha, Jennifer for the Cash Apps, and Miss Sonia for the Super Chats. I saw some of y'all that was out here yesterday like, hey, I didn't get my shout out during the stream or whatever. Yeah, that's because during that live stream, I was actually playing a recording of myself that I had made just a few minutes prior, you know what I'm saying? But then I put it up as a live because it just, I just gave y'all a glimpse behind the third wall. Let's just say that, all right? So as a content creator, these are things you learn about. So I want to give a shout out to y'all one more time. My Cash App crew, the Super Insiders, everybody that contributes to the channel. We're going to play Latto for y'all, and we're going to get into all of the stories, okay? Let's get it.
Ooh, yeah. Man, I done came up out the bottom. Ooh, yeah. Got fresh like I just hit the lotto. Yeah. They say money can't fix all your problems. Ooh, yeah. Well, I say throw it in my wallet. Hey, yeah. Man, I done came up out the bottom. Ooh, yeah. Got fresh like I just hit the lotto. Yeah. They say money can't fix all your problems. Ooh, yeah. Well, I say throw it in my wallet.
Yeah. So shout out to all of the supporters of Inside the Industry, all the supporters of the J Nolan channel, you know what I'm saying? Good news on the horizon. I dedicated some time into the whole merch and everything. I've been getting it set up. I think I got some really dope stuff on the way for y'all. I got to go ahead and put in some orders just to make sure everything comes out right. Want to make sure the stuff fits good. Want to make sure that the prints come out good before I actually put it out for y'all. So just stay tuned over the next 7 days or so, and then we'll finally get this thing up and rolling. So all my insiders, I'm sure you'll be happy about that. Now, of course, yesterday I talked about the City Girls being done. I mean, all hell literally broke loose on Twitter yesterday. The whole internet was in an uproar. I mean, they did this shit live in front of everybody. These tweets got millions upon millions of views, man. Like, this shit was going down like the Royal Rumble. It was going down like WrestleMania, right? They was really tussling with these tweets. Just to give y'all a quick little recap about how things transpired. We're not going to go through the entire situation, but just to give you a brief synopsis if you did not see my video or if you haven't heard anyone else talk about it. Basically, JT, she was already on Twitter going back and forth with people. It seems like that is her great American pastime. She just gets on there, searches her name, and looks up people to go at. So during the earlier portion of the day, she was going back and forth with Ken Barbie. Apparently, for those of y'all that know, Ken Barbie is Cardi B's friend. I don't know, he acts as almost like a publicist at times. I think he runs his own blog as well, where he covers a lot of the stuff going on with the ladies in hip hop and things of that nature, and just salacious stories. Nonetheless, JT was seen at one of her club appearances where the DJ was trying to get her to twerk on stage. We talked about the twerk thing as far as the whole wannabe challenge with Megan Thee Stallion, Glorilla, all the ladies that are taking part. Latto hopped in on it yesterday. So they were trying to get her to jump in, and she was like, nah, I'm going to twerk if or when I feel like it. There was definitely a discussion about body autonomy and stuff like that, which we spoke about yesterday. I was completely on JT's side. If she didn't feel like twerking at the time when she was on stage, they weren't paying her any extra money to get up there and show herself in that fashion. I understand. Do what the fuck you came to do. Get your money, get your bag, and leave. You know what I'm saying? Whether or not you're at a backyard barbecue at the Sonny's barbecue, if you at the motherfucking This Is It, if you at anywhere, you know what I mean? It really don't matter, because you still shouldn't have to fetishize or put yourself on display if that's not the type of mood that you're in. So I was with her 1,000% on that, right? Um, so Ken Barbie basically posted about that and was trying to liken the fact that she was not trying to twerk to the fact that she was seen twerking on stage at Rolling Loud, which JT said that Rolling Loud performance, I was paid to be on stage. It was a big stage in that club. I had all of these cameras. If I would have turned around and busted open, it would have been a bunch of cameras up her ass crack. Again, you don't have to do nothing you don't want to do. She shouldn't even have to fucking explain this shit. But of course, she said this is something you would never know nothing about. Basically hinting at the fact that you're a man, you don't go through this type of stuff. So just keep your distance on some of these subjects. Again, I was behind all that. Right around the corner and across the street, UnWineWithTashaK was going through her own Twitter issue, right? She was going back and forth with, I guess, a resident flunky of Nicki Minaj's camp, Sleaze Mirage, and she was out here basically trying to berate UnWineWithTashaK, trying to get her to speak on her allegations or whatever was going on, especially when it comes to the Diddy situation. Saucy Santana then jumped into that conversation and let it be known that everything that people were asking about or wanted to know about would be addressed on some sort of TV episode. I don't know what TV show that they have, what channel that they're going to be going through, what network they've linked up with, but apparently a lot of these allegations, a lot of these salacious stories, a lot of the drama, the turmoil behind the scenes that Saucy and UnWineWithTashaK have been going through will be addressed in some sort of format. I don't know if this is going to be done on a Carisha Please conversation or otherwise, because we don't know what the future holds with that particular pod or talk show, if that's what you want to call it. From there, Saucy Santana's talking about that episode. JT decided that she wanted to take aim at Saucy and say, hey, whatever y'all finna say on this TV shit, make sure you don't say nothing about me because I'm not in the episode. I'm not going to be present. So please, anything pertaining to Jatavia, please keep that shit to yourself. Don't mention me in it because I don't want to. All right? From there, when I said hell broke loose, we talking about the gates flew the fuck open from there. You understand what I'm saying? UnWineWithTashaK then comes out and says that a chick been sneak dissing her for weeks and she ain't said nothing about it, right? She letting it be known, hey, somebody out here been speaking on me without speaking on me at the same time. I've been letting that shit ride. I've been keeping it real cool, keeping it real subtle, trying to keep this shit pushing, but I want you to know I see it. From there, UnWineWithTashaK and JT definitely got into a war of words, decided that they had some things to get up off their chest. I guess they was feeling like pimps because they definitely went ahead and brushed their motherfucking shoulders off real quick to get everything out in the open. And it was very entertaining, I must say. At the root of their issues, it seems that both of these ladies feel abandoned to a certain degree, feel like they're having a lack of support from each other. JT, like I said, is always going at it back and forth with people on Twitter. She's always defending herself. Anybody that says anything negative about her when she announced her tour, that she was going to these different clubs and lounges and hookah bars and stuff like that in order to put on a tour. I don't know why she packaged it that way. The industry definitely, she became a laughing stock, but she's been defending herself from this narrative for the past couple of weeks. And people have also been berating her saying, hey, you're doing this while Nicki Minaj is on a world tour going to arenas. You were her lapdog. Why has she not got you off the leash and let you take the stage? Right? She says that ever since she decided to come to the defense or not even come to the defense, but just, uphold the queen of rap, people seem to find different ways to hate her. She says that she's been consistently gaslit online and nobody's coming to her aid. Nobody's coming to her defense, even her so-called beloved friend. UnWineWithTashaK, on the other hand, she feels she's just as abandoned. She feels just as alone in this situation because she's been going through all of these different allegations in the Lil Rod Diddy lawsuit. Her and her cousin have been implicated in that lawsuit. Her cousin allegedly tried to suck on Lil Rod's little sausage rack. He said, I don't want that. I don't want none of that. He hit her with the Vicky Valancourt from goddamn Waterboy. You know what I'm saying? Get the fuck, hey, Vicky Valancourt, no, my mom said you the devil. got her up off his ass. You understand what I'm saying? So, so from there, she's been in consistent talk. Not only that, but of course, Lil Rod revised and amended his lawsuit to where Young Miami was then implicated as a so-called sex worker alongside Daphne Joy, 50 Cent's baby mama, and Jade Ramey, who also was allegedly dating Diddy. Now, all of these women were said to have been dating Diddy all around the same time, not to mention that there's 2 or 3 other women who have allegedly dated Diddy all during the same time period. So these sex worker claims, to be honest, they don't seem all that far-fetched, but I'm sure none of them want to be looked at in that way or would even identify themselves as such. They probably just think they're having a good time with a rich nigga, getting the benefits, and, you know, they're not exclusive, so what the fuck else? You know what I mean? What else is going on? Unfortunately, it's not being looked at in that way legally, okay? Because there's a lot of scrutiny about who did what, and of course there's drugs involved, and of course there's other escorts involved as well. She was also implicated in other lawsuits pertaining to Diddy, namely this whole Act Bad situation. Just a couple days ago, she was served with a lawsuit during her time out in Houston. She was doing a little pool party or what have you. And this guy, CEO Charlie, or whatever the fuck this name is, Charlie C., he sent somebody out there to serve her a $10 million lawsuit pertaining to the song Act Bad. They said it was trademark infringement when they put the song out. Said that they sold merch, which I showed y'all. She definitely did put out some varsity jackets. They were selling at $230 on her website. I'm pretty sure she's taken those down by now. I don't know if she's made a substantial amount of money from it, but they're trying to cash in. They're also aiming at Diddy. And like I said, they want $10 million hairs. Okay, and she hasn't been defended by anyone in that circumstance either. This is something that's been going on since last year. So, yeah, both of them have been on social media fighting for their lives at the bare minimum all of 2024. And it seems like it's only getting rougher. They're not in each other's corner. They have gone on to start their own solo careers. Miami is in her Yams era, putting out very horrible music. And JT has put out some mid, you know what I'm saying? But at least she has 2 records. If you put out 2 mid conditions, you might get something good. You know what I'm saying? No Bars and Sideways. I think she has some new music on the way, but neither of them as solo artists or in their solo brands are reaching the same amount of prominence or reverence from the crowd, from the audience, than what they actually achieved as a group in the City Girls. Now, of course, their last City Girls album did underperform because it seems as though they were not on the best of terms either when they were in the creation mode of that album, nor in the promotion of that album, which translated into poor sales, poor connection, you know what I'm saying, and poor crowd retention. So all of this is falling apart, right? At a certain point, Young Miami decided to come out and let JT know just how exhausting it is to be her friend, which is something that I'm sure some people can relate to a lot. If you always used to being the supporter, being the person pouring into people, and people just continuously come to you with their problems, expect you to be able to solve them, come to you with their issues, trying to vent all day, like your phone just ain't got no type of battery charge to it. Like, damn, I gotta charge my phone. I gotta recharge my motherfucking personal battery. Like, damn. When are you going to figure some shit out for yourself? I can't tell you how to live. So she came out and said, you weird, but always want to act like I'm a weirdo. You always mad. It's always a problem. And all I try to do is push you and tell you, you the shit. You can rap. You should model, etc. So basically, in so many terms, she's saying, yo, you always coming to me with an issue. I always tell you you're an excellent rapper. I always tell you that you're beautiful. You should be in the modeling game. I always tell you you the shit. Everything that you want out here is for you. So what the hell am I supposed to do in addition to that, right? She says, you're doing your shit as you should. Congratulations. But somehow you still mad. Of course, this is the abridged version. I'm not going through all the tweets. Again, you can go back to the live from yesterday and check that out if you want to get all of the details. Today, this is just the shortened version, the hyphenated, right? So from there, JT ended up putting a statement out online. Apparently, before this statement was released, JT and Miami actually had a phone call where they were able to air out some of their grievances, come to some sort of understanding. But as soon as that phone call took place, a new tweet was composed. It says, if I'm ever mad, I have a reason to be. Excuse me. If I'm ever mad, no fucking punctuation. If I'm ever mad, I have a reason to be behind closed doors. You have done stuff to me that you think I should just get over. You never come to my defense when I would have literally took a bullet for you. When CP popped off, I was there. First episode, Carisha, please. And when someone canceled, I showed up in a red wig. Keep calling me mad like the internet do, but you know me, my heart pumped gold. I wish you the best always. I love how fast you got on here behind Santana. Basically saying, oh, when it came to him, you jumped in the fight. You wanted to make sure everything was good. But when I was on here going against everybody else, you ain't had shit to say. She also alleged, she said, when everything first hit the fan, who was the first person to call you? Young Miami said, not you, so quit playing. Right? Eventually, they were able to come to some sort of resolution. I don't know how good they are today. You know, it feels as though this may be an ongoing saga. Both of them are extremely impulsive online. Both of them are very moody, as we can see. They may not always show that in their personas, but at the drop of a dime, they can be online, sneak dissing, putting up veiled tweets, knowing exactly who they're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Or they may just go ahead and put a motherfucking stamping at somebody who they got an issue with just because it's a motherfucking Tuesday and they're not feeling well. So that's where we're standing today. Now, before we actually got to the resolution, JT and Saucy Santana did have a series of words, which is why JT said, see how fast you get on here for him.
Being y'all friend on the
you know, he basically wanted to clear some things up. JT came out and said, hold on. So he says, I never did nothing to you, JT. Somehow I always ended up on the receiving end of the shade. From the live when you first got out, which then was followed by Block Boy JB calling me a whoa. When I say whoa, I'm talking about a word we can't use. And you sat there, snatching mics at Rolling Loud, calling me your favorite op. She said your career started from being disrespected on live. You really trying to play me as a homophobe? Wow. To be fair, I didn't know how to work live and I had just got out and Rolling Loud got time limits. I gave you my mic to begin with. Whoa, SMH, baby, don't do this to me. So there's been some sort of animosity with them since the beginning of their relationship, basically, in a nutshell. From there, Saucy responded to her and said, bingo, the last sentence is the problem. This is what it's always been. How much I've bigged you up, had your back, been through highs and lows, always congratulated, boosted confidence and egos. You know the real, so why it's always shade for me. 1 minute you love me, next I'm Carisha friend. And apparently Saucy Santana was also blocked by JT. Young Miami also made it very much known that she felt like the 2 solo songs that JT has, No Bars and Sideways, were diss records aimed at her. There were some questionable lyrics in those songs. We went over the Sideways record yesterday in one line. Well, throughout the whole hook, she talks about, you know, looking at motherfucker sideways. It'll never be the same, motherfuck the old days. All this type shit. There's also a line in there saying, baby boy, I can't unblock you. We didn't know. We thought she was talking to a masculine man, as if somebody she could have been talking to. But then we found out Saucy Santana was blocked. So then it's like, damn, you was dissing the whole crew in your shit. Right? All those things set aside, we came to a resolution. Young Miami says, Jatavia, I love you. I'm moving on. JT comes back and says, I love you more. I actually love you the most, as if it was supposed to be some sort of competition, even at that point. So I do want to take a moment to address somebody who jumped in my comments yesterday. Sometimes I just got to speak to it, you know? And they were like, hey, why did you do this video before the beef was even resolved? They came out and made up after all of this took place, so maybe you shouldn't have talked about it. And I just want to say, hey, no diss to you, and you know who you are. No disrespect. It's all love, but please, you don't have to tell me how to run my channel. You don't have to tell me how to run my content. And like I told you yesterday, if or when they make up, if or when they decide to do new music, you can bet your bottom dollar exactly who's going to be talking about it, who's going to be covering it. So please, let me work. Calamate. We right back here the next mother effing day talking about what? The resolution. Now, do I believe that they made up? Do I believe that the City Girls are going to reactivate and start putting out new music? Do I believe that we're going to be seeing them rushing to see each other and show up on camera and gallivant around the town and go goddamn buy Birkin bags together? Absolutely not. When Miami said, Jatavia, I love you, moving on, I think she meant just that. JT and Saucy Santana had a conversation. He says happy ending, moving forward. Everybody's moving forward. This is not going to be a moving backwards to try to reignite the old wave. It's we going separate ways, but I'm not going to talk bad about you. We should have handled this privately, but I'm glad that we were able to get some things out. And hopefully over the course of the next year, next 2 years, if everybody can mature, if everybody can move on and find their way in life, maybe there will be an official reunion. But please, let your boy work. Coming around here mad, bringing that type of energy does not do well with me because all I do is spread love and information. I don't take sides very much. I joke on everybody. If you have a problem with me making jokes, this is not the channel, nor the place, nor the community for you. And I'm not just saying that to one person. I'm saying that to anyone. All right? I want to be crystal clear because I give nothing but respect and love. I even say much love and respect at the end of every mother effing video. So please, have some grace with me. I've been having grace for a lot of people, but I will not extend it further than a rubber band before it breaks. In other beef news, y'all know we talked at length about the J. Cole apology to Kendrick Lamar. It took the entire hip-hop world by storm. I don't necessarily want to harp on that all too much. I do respect J. Cole's decision. I do think that people are going to listen to his music with a very different ear, especially those of us that are hip-hop heads, that understand the culture, that have been involved in the culture, who know the history of the culture of hip-hop, the competitive nature and everything. His words are going to hit differently. It's just the way it is. But I do want to go over Rory and Mal. They just dropped a new episode today where they talked about the situation. And I want to talk about them specifically because Mal came out and spoke about the fact that he's got some sort of relationship with Drake. He had a conversation with Drake via text about whether or not he was going to be going to Dreamville Fest. He also has some choice words about how he feels this whole situation played out, why it was that J. Cole's stomach was not settled, why he couldn't sleep, why he seemed so disheveled over the past few days about this diss with Kendrick Lamar. I'm going to play y'all some of this and just go over what Mal had to say because this is the first time I've really heard Mal get, amped up. He's normally really too cool for school. That was always Joe Budden's critique of him back when Rory and Mal were over there at the previous podcast. He always approaches things from a very composed nature, but he started raising his voice. He started giving hot takes. This is exactly what Joe wanted from you. If you guys would have been able to give this type of energy on a consistent basis, he might have actually showed y'all the accounting and gave you y'all checks that y'all deserved. I don't know. Just some food for thought. Let's get to it, though.
No, Rory and Ma.
But here's the interesting thing about all of this that I don't think people is looking at. If this was a battle between J. Cole and Drake, I think J. Cole performs his diss record to Drake on that stage last night. I don't think he ever tells us he's losing sleep. I don't think he ever telling us his spirit is upset. I think if this is Drake that he's dissing, he leans into that diss record. He performs that diss record. He stands on that diss record.
Why do you think that? Because Mal thinks that everybody needs Drake in order to have a successful career.
That's not what I think.
So why?
That's not what I think at all.
So why?
I think that niggas think Drake is sweet. I think that niggas think Drake is a nice guy and that it's only so far he's going to take it. For whatever reason, J. Cole is scared of Kendrick Lamar.
I don't think that that's what it is.
He just told us that's what it is.
No, that's not what he said.
What are you talking? He just came. He just stood on stage and said, I couldn't sleep for 72 hours.
Not because he was scared, but because that wasn't in his character for him to
Your character, this is
He's
rap.
a rapper.
Okay.
This is hip hop.
I'm aware.
You
of it.
niggas is just rapping. It's just bars. Nigga, put pen to paper, get in the booth, and show us why you feel like you're the best nigga in the game. What are we losing sleep over what?
Listen,
What are you losing sleep over, Jermaine? What the you got a sold out Dream Fest. Your entire hometown is out here to celebrate you.
We should have never.
What the fuck are you scared of?
I don't think it
Should have never gave rappers therapists.
I don't think it was fear. I don't
Why did
think
we
it's
introduce
fear
him to
at
therapy?
all. I
Damaris,
really don't think that
it's
it's
fear.
No, I don't
He's
think it's
scared
fear.
of Kendrick Lamar.
Do you think it's possible that when somebody says something, they actually mean what they say? Like, do you think that it's possible for someone to come from a genuine place?
I think that it's possible that nigga Jermaine put that record out. It didn't hit like he thought it was going to hit. He was getting killed online as soon as it dropped. I think that he felt like, shit, I ain't got much more than that.
I don't think
If that didn't quiet everyone, then I'm fucked.
I think that him and Kendrick are friends, and I think that it doesn't sit right in his. He should. I think if he
can all
had
be
Talk on the
friends.
phone all the time.
We can
Like,
all be friends. This is sport.
If Kendrick's
think-
okay with him dissing, because they had that phone conversation.
This is what got interesting for me. I'm going to pause for the cause. I'm just trying to let this play a little bit, but Rory comes out and he alleges that J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar had a phone conversation after the Like That diss came out. Motherfuck the big three, nigga, it's just big me, nigga, bum. That whole thing. He's alleging that there was some call that took place, some form of communication that took place between Kendrick and J. Cole behind the scenes that we were not privy to prior to that 7-minute drill record came out on Might Delete Later. To me, that changes a lot of the dynamic. That changes a lot of the narrative that J. Cole just gave to us at Dreamville Fest on stage over the weekend. I can't say 100% that this is true. This is just coming from Rory and Mal. Rory and Mal are definitely very connected in the industry. I want to be specific and say that these are not just random people. This is not just some DJ Academics rant. These guys are very respected behind the scenes. They have access to a lot of different people. So I'm not going to say that I believe them. I'm just going to say if this happened and played out the way that they say, this changes my perspective about the situation tenfold. I'm going to let y'all finish though.
The day that Future shit dropped, Cole and Kendrick spoke on the phone. They were fine with going back and forth. Why now is it off your spirit?
Because
Twitter didn't like it?
I think if
They want to see blood.
Yeah, it's fucking rap.
They want to see blood. Nigga, we don't want to see y'all fight.
Yeah.
We want to hear y'all rap. Fucking rap, nigga. All these years I've been saying Cole is one of the illest niggas. Man, I'm deleting all that later. I'm deleting all your shit out my iTunes. I want all your posters off my wall. Nigga, I'm not fucking with J. Cole no more.
Imagine going to Maul's crib and seeing a J. Cole poster.
I'm
on the
throwing
wall.
all them fucking Pumas I got. I'm throwing all them shits away. Fuck your Pumas, nigga.
I don't think we've ever seen Maul wear those Pumas neither. He always in some J's, some Air Max. I think he got some goddamn Bo Jacksons on right now. You wasn't wearing them shits no way. I got my Dreamville hat on. Please don't attack me, people. I love Cole. But we listening different from here on out. It just is what it is.
I'm wearing Dreamville Pumas. Me. That's how much I fuck with Cole.
And they're yellow.
Maul.
Fuck J. Cole.
Maul.
I wore yellow Pumas for Cole.
Maul.
That's how big of a fan I
Not
was.
literally. Not literally.
I
I still
think-
fuck with
I
Cole.
think
But he
that
did
is-
some suck. Cole, you did some sucker. You had some panties on last night, man. You had some boy shorts on under them fucking sweatpants. You had some Skittles boy shorts on under the motherfucking sweats last night, bro. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, bro. I'm from a different era in this shit. What you did last night, every nigga that's that nigga in the culture that you're in, trust and believe they looking at you a different way today. You can never come back from this. There's no coming back from this. None. There is no, I don't give a fuck what the fall off sound like. He could never remove this stain off his jacket.
It's there forever.
He got to cut his dreads. He got to go back to waves. This nigga got to do so much rebranding after last night.
He got to go back to college. He has to do another 4 years.
This nigga might have to become a doctor. It's so much shit he got to do from the, bro, it's over for J. Cole.
All right, that's a huge stretch. But
I'm not
I
talking
think he's
about,
gonna have a lot of
can J.
greasy
Cole
talk.
put out good music? Yes. Of course he can. Can he put together a great album? Yes. He's a dope artist. What I'm talking about when it ain't no cameras and no mics and none of this podcast shit and all of these rappers is somewhere sitting down. He can't sit at that table no more.
It's a very interesting concept now because there's only a few of them in that arena. You get what I'm saying? I mean, they said it was just the big three. Kendrick, Drake, Cole. I'm quite sure Kendrick has accepted the apology, but that's definitely changed his perspective in the spirit of competition. Like, damn, I didn't know it was that deep. On some friend shit, that's cool, but damn, bro, I didn't know. Damn. Because, to be honest, I don't think if the tables were turned, we don't get no apology from Kendrick Lamar. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be 100,000%. If the shoes were on opposite feet, if a nigga was wearing his left shoe on the right, if everybody was in a reverse role, like if first person shooter was Drake and Kendrick Lamar in some odd parallel universe, and they did what they did, same exact lyrics, same exact everything, and Cole came out and said, motherfuck the big three, nigga, it's just big me, nigga, bomb. And Kendrick decided to fire back number one, the song would have sounded completely different. 7-Minute Drill would have been a 7-minute record. 7-Minute Drill would have probably been on one of J. Cole's beats just to drive in home the fact that I'm finna demolish you. Not to mention what that nigga would have said in that record. Cause Kendrick knows how to make palatable music to the ear. He knows how to, he gives you the ear candy. He gives you the bars that you're going to quote. He's going to give you an onslaught of just like different shit, flows, everything, aggression. This is why people like me gravitate more to Kendrick Lamar than a J. Cole, slightly, because he gives me a little bit more animation in his vocal tone and delivery, which keeps me interested for the duration of a song, for the duration of an album. He's not going to sound monotone through the entire thing. That's not a knock on J. Cole. It's just what it is. So all of those things, even if the bars weren't as scathing, the way he would have said it, his tone, the aggression, it would have felt like he meant it. What J. Cole did was, I'm apprehensive about this. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if J. Cole was somewhat afraid that if he went too hard on this record, it could spark some sort of outside of rap issue. For those that don't know, Kendrick Lamar's pretty much entire entourage, people that you would hear him around, see him around, the people that have co-signed him, put money into his pockets, they're all either gang members, ex-gang members, or affiliated. Right? So maybe he was trying to watch his words, watch his tone, make sure that he don't go too far, make sure that he don't say anything overly flagrant that might actually spill over into somebody from Kendrick's camp feeling like that was too far, or we got to find this nigga, we got to go see this nigga. Not to mention, J. Cole has his own people because he said he had folks hitting his line like it's wartime. I'm sure they only meant lyrically, but we all know it doesn't take a lot for somebody to be connected, cousins, niggas that you know from back home. Everybody got shooters. Everybody got niggas that's willing to crash out if you start looking deep enough. And it sounded like a guy that was like, man, I gotta say something, but I don't want to misplay my hand. He ended up misplaying his hand anyway. But I'm just telling y'all my assessment of the situation. If the motherfucking Rubik's Cube was positioned differently, we wouldn't have gotten that apology from Kendrick Lamar, especially if he was in his home state in front of 55,000 people, 52,000 people, his motherfucking kingdom. You're not finna get me to bow down to no another nigga in my kingdom, nigga. You gonna have to, nah. We wouldn't have seen that. We may not have seen him go super crazy, but I think he would have gotten through his show. Probably wouldn't have even performed the diss record. I don't think he would have rubbed it in that deep. Pause. No, did he? But I do think he would have finished out that show as planned, wouldn't have acknowledged the beef, wouldn't acknowledge the war, and just let things continue this week. If you was gonna fire back, fire back. You ain't got nothing else to say. I said what I needed to say. We all good now. So, although I understand where Maul's coming from, some points that he's touching on, I do agree. Saying it's over for him, I don't. But I do think that there's a lot of rappers, a lot of MCs, and J. Cole is an MC, and he respects MCs, even MCs that are of lesser status than him. You saw how he brought Benny the Butcher out on stage. He respects Benny the Butcher's pen. He would respect his opinion. I'm sure Benny the Butcher would publicly say, salute to Cole. He's a great guy. But behind the scenes, Benny the Butcher and those Griselda guys are looking like, why the hell did he do that? Man, I'm disappointed. They're going to salute him. They're going to big up him. They're going to dap him when they see him. But anybody that's worth a grain of salt in this hip-hop game that understands the spirit of competition, that understands the origin of the battle, not the beef, but the battle, niggas is looking like, damn, Cole, shit. Why you do that? Bro, you sure? And that's all I'm saying. That's all I've been saying. I'm going to let Mark continue, though.
He can't. Fuck let Nas down. You let every nigga that's ever supported your career down last night. That's a fact. Fuck let Nas down.
Whole Red Storm.
You let everybody that ever supported you, that ever championed you, that ever bought a ticket to your shows, you let all of them down last night.
I don't think that's true. Them niggas at Dreamville Fest was loud as fuck when that nigga said what he said, when he said his piece. He went into Love Yours and was telling people the backstory and how he felt, how he had to get some Pepto-Bismol. You know what I'm saying? He had to go get him some goddamn Noto so that he could sleep right. You know what I'm saying? He had indigestion and shit like that because of what he said. It wasn't sitting right with him. The crowd was rocking with him. The crowd was following. He was the conductor. You know what I mean? So he didn't disappoint everybody that ever supported him or bought a ticket to go see him. But there's definitely a big population of people in hip hop that are like, bro, I can't believe this shit. I never expected this to happen. Now we got articles of people putting stuff out, documenting all of the rappers that have apologized to Kendrick Lamar since he's come out. And they're basically crowning him the ultimate king of hip hop. This is where shit gets a little tricky. There was one of Lupe Fiasco allegedly apologizing to Kendrick Lamar for criticizing his talent. He said, I'll never do that shit again. I think Lupe was actually just apologizing for going a little heavy-handed on Kendrick, even though he respected him. But nonetheless, it was an apology. I told y'all Kendrick laid Jay Electronica down, tucked him in for bed. Jay Electronica apologized for dissing 50 Cent and Kendrick Lamar. When Macklemore won the Grammy over Kendrick Lamar, he literally texted Kendrick and apologized for winning over this nigga. You know what I'm saying? There was a lot of controversy about who deserved it. Good Kid, Mad City was the favorite, was the one that everybody wanted to see get it. And he texted him and said, hey, bro, I'm sorry I won. When have we ever seen that? Now, we got J. Cole apologizing to Kendrick for dropping a diss record, 7-minute drill. And J. Cole and his team, as of right now, are going through their options right now, trying to see who they got to make a call to get this song scrubbed, completely removed from streaming platforms so we no longer even have access to it. It's that deep. But I'm still rocking my Dreamville shit, so I'm not going to say that I'm taking him out of my big three. I'm not saying that I'm no longer going to listen to his music. I'm not saying I'm never going to play Might Delete Later again. If he drops a music video tomorrow, I'm going to watch it. If he drops the Fall Off anytime soon, I'm going to listen to it. I'm going to play it. I'm going to get the vibes. I'm going to listen to it. I'm going to assess it for what it is, which is good music, good lyrical ability, dope style. But again, every time he start pumping his chest, I'm going to have a good chuckle to myself. And I'm going to get back to listening. But there's nobody else in hip hop that I have to do that to or do that for when I listen to their music, right? Eventually, all the shock will wear off. Eventually, all of that will kind of fall to the backside, to the wayside. No diddy. But in this moment, this is how the people feel, and niggas is going to get them jokes off. It just is what it is, y'all. I know I got a lot of J. Cole fans, a lot of people that love Cole, a lot of people that support Dreamville over here. I'm one of them, right? Make no mistake. But this changes a lot of things, at least momentarily. An old video has resurfaced online, a conversation that J. Cole had with Kevin Durant and his podcast partner Eddie. In this conversation, they spoke about J. Cole and his perspective on competition with Drake and Kendrick Lamar. In that conversation, he says that he's more interested in having a relationship and a friendship with these guys more so than competing. I want to play this for y'all just so y'all understand J. Cole's heart, I guess you could say, and why that apology seems to be very on brand.
No one is truly my peer or can relate to what I'm going through in life more than these people right here. You know what I mean? Because just in terms of whatever pressures there might be, whatever amount of like celebrity, which is, you know, a whole conversation in itself there might be, family, you know, privacy, boom, boom, boom. Like nobody can really relate to that like these dudes. And I really genuinely fuck with these dudes. So like I've been trying to, you know, absolutely make an effort like as time goes on to like strip the competition from it. Like y'all niggas are cemented forever. You know what I mean? Like I would hope that I'm cemented forever. And if not, I will be, you know, when it's all said and done. You know, in my mind, it's how my mentality is. So it's like there's like the competition part I've stripped away and I'm now on some shit like, man, I'm more interested in the relationship because I also see a time when I'm not doing this. That seems very realistic to me. And in a time when I'm not doing this, I would, you know, I don't want to be like, damn, we never kicked it. You know what I mean? Like.
So that's J. Cole's perspective, trying to remove as much of the competition as possible from his relationship with Kendrick Lamar and Drake. Things got a little competitive, and hey man, he Willie beaming right in front of everybody. You know what I'm saying? If y'all know what I'm talking about, cool. If you don't, too bad. But he definitely Willie beaming. You know, I don't want to harp on this too long, but I did want to touch on it with y'all. In other, I guess, beef news, Latto had a quick little interview leading up to her headlining performance at Atlanta's Birthday Bash. That's basically our version of Summer Jam here in Atlanta. She's the first female rapper to headline this particular event, so it was a big deal. It was a big announcement not too long ago. And in this interview, she was asked about her favorite female rappers of all time, give a top 3. In this, she named Lil' Kim, Left Eye, and Shawty. Y'all know who Shawty is. She didn't want to say the name. I'm going to go ahead and play the audio real quick for y'all, then we'll get into that.
For sure. Females, to be exact, what are your top 3 females of all time in hip-hop?
My top three female rappers of all time, dead or alive.
Yep, dead or alive.
Okay. Kim, gotta say Kim. Wait, my favorite or like the best?
The best. I'm gonna say the best. I'm gonna say the best.
Okay. Whew, I'm gonna say Kim. Gotta say Kim. I'm gonna say Left Eye. Rest in peace, Left Eye. And Shawty.
Okay. Shawty. Okay. Well, let's talk about best moments, right?
Best moment.
People.
All right. Very quick, very easy. But a lot of people are taking note of the fact that she said Shawty instead of Nicki Minaj. We all know she's talking about Nicki, but of course they have their own sticky situation. They went through their own rift, their own beef online, through records. I believe there's still some instances where they throw shots at each other, especially from Latto's end. When she starts talking about she thought I was going to kiss her ass. When she starts talking about she playing with your nose. All of these different things, of course, those are ongoing allegations or things that people associate with Nicki Minaj. The whole thought I was going to kiss her ass. The perception is that she wants everybody to do just that. I'm saying the perception for all you fans out there that watch my content and get angry. I'm just saying that's the perception. I didn't make the perception. I didn't create the narrative. I'm just speaking on where we are in the game. Unfortunately, I have to do this every time I speak about this particular person, not because y'all put fear in me or anything like that, just because I want to make sure that I'm clear and that I say everything in the interest of fairness. I have no beef, no issue with anybody in the entire pantheon of hip-hop from beginning to end. But there's some people that just have an unsavory reputation that comes with them, and I got to acknowledge that despite their talent, which I always acknowledge, despite the good that may come about, which we're going to get into in my next video, because I don't hate anyone. But there are certain things at play that we can't look over, right? I speak about everybody's good, bad, ugly, and it is what it is, right? So they had their issues, right? And it's so bad that even though she wants to acknowledge her as one of the best, she didn't want to say her name because she didn't want to rekindle this past issue. She didn't want to have to go through a whole nother round of public humiliation or public discourse or public back and forth with said person, because we know how sensitive that ear is. We know how quick she'll get on goddamn station head or get down, go straight to the fans, direct to consumer, and start firing off. It's unfortunate. Maybe that's what J. Cole was trying to avoid when he said, you know what, I'll just bury the hatchet with Kendrick, let everything be good, let bygones be bygones. I'd rather go that route than to have the next year and a half of us going back and forth, having the fans have this ultimate division. I will sacrifice myself completely before I let it go down that road. I don't know. I don't live in J. Cole's head, no diddy. I'm just saying what I think happened. And unfortunately, Latto feels like she can't even get this woman no love, because now it's going to look like, oh, you backtracking. Oh, you hopping on nuts now. You trying to come back, now stay where you at. It's unfortunate. But when you take part in beef in hip hop, there's a good side, there's pros, there's cons. Some people going to come out on top. Some people going to get that championship ring, and others, you just kind of left to figure it out from there. Let me know what y'all think of all this down below in the comments. Be sure to like and share this video. If this is your first time seeing me on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Hit the post notification bell for all updates. I will be back very shortly. Once again, I do have merch on the way. We're working on that stuff. Again, I'm getting everything in order so that I could place some shipments to make sure everything is good. I'll update y'all very soon on that. If you want to support in the meantime, you can always send a Cash App or a super thanks or a super chat, whatever floats your boat. It's not mandatory. It's not something that I'm asking y'all to do. I'm just saying. Or you can get the Southside Nolan album in your preferred format, whether that be on streaming platforms. Just put J Nolan, Southside Nolan to come up. Or if you'd like to purchase the album directly from me on my website, those options are also available to you. Much love and respect. I will see y'all shortly in new content. Hope y'all enjoy the rest of your day. Peace.
King of my city and cul-de-sac. Coming out swinging like soldier rag. Leading my people like quarterback. Boy, I study this shit, I'm an almanac. Had to get up and grind. Knowledge is booming, I'm here to apply. Came with the chip and the dip, it just single the mind. We finna do more than survive. I need my check. Spinning the block for the Gouda. We hitting the jeweler to flood out the net. We don't do beef on computers, I'm straight out the sewer. We come when you rest. Niggas be looking perplexed, so keeping my foot on their neck. No map, I trust my gut for the quest. With drama, I'm fully abreast. I was ready for years and they doubted me. All of a sudden they tell me they proud of me. I've been dropping these haters like calories. Cross I'm out, I came back with some boundaries. Stand for my honor, but too raw, no corner. Packing the stick with a drummer. Wanna catch my bad, won't fumble. I done came too far to be humble.